I wanted to share a little concept, a major paradigm shift or kind of mindset that needs to take place so that you can actually start saving money and building wealth for yourself. Because let's face it, I mean, it's not that money is everything, but I want to have a great life for myself, my family, my friends, and you know, money helps. Money gives you choices. It allows you freedom to just get up and go somewhere. It gives you the ability to provide things for others. And, you know, it's an important thing to be able to do, is to be able to learn how to make money and learn how to expand your money and multiply your money. So I want to talk about a very important concept that really made a major shift in my life. It really, really allowed me to start paving the way to saving and eventually investing in real estate. You know, a few years ago, I invested in a 20 property real estate deal a few years back, and then here recently I've been flipping properties in Ohio and Nashville, making more money. But none of that was possible until I made this first paradigm shift, this first kind of like mindset shift. To give you, for those of you who don't know me, to kind of give you a little bit of a background, I grew up very, very middle class lifestyle. My mom did not have a college education. My dad had a bachelor's degree, later on ended up getting a master's, and he was pretty much one of the main breadwinners of the family. You know, had decent paying jobs, you know, close to six-figure paying job, but you know, he'd lose his job. You know, he'd have a job for a few years and he'd lose it, and then money would be tight. And then we're like, you know, counting pennies and collecting food stamps, trying to figure out, okay, you know, how do we get by? How do we, you know, cut our food budget even more? How do we do this? How do we do that? Just to try to stay afloat. And I wanted to be different. I didn't want to live like that. I wanted to be free. I wanted to not have to stress financially. Went to college as a pre-med student because I was taught that, you know, in order to guarantee yourself financial security, you need to have a good job, you know, become a doctor or a lawyer. You know, I'm sure most of you have probably heard that before. And I hated every class that I took in college. I didn't like any of the subjects. I was not passionate about becoming a doctor. I was just passionate about making some money, you know? And I started doing some acting on the side while I was in college and really liked it, and had the opportunity to move to Los Angeles to pursue a dream of mine, a dream I had always had. And so I took it. I was like, you know what, this is a lot more fun. I want to enjoy myself and I might have a shot at this. So I moved out to Los Angeles and pursued my dreams. And I got to a point though where I was really struggling, and I was like, you know, there's got to be a way that you can pursue your passion in life and not have to sacrifice money, okay? You know, it's like you always told, oh, well, you know, if you pursue your passion in the arts, you know, you're gonna be broke, starving artist, right? And I'm like, man, why do you have to decide between one or the other? Why is it that, you know, I've got to either pick, you know, living a decent quality of life, or I pursue my dreams and probably, you know, be broke my entire life? But no, there's got to be something. So I really kind of looked for answers. I started reading and researching and studying all the financially successful people that I could, and started finding commonalities, learning about money, how to make money, how to grow your money, how to save money, all this stuff. And I still struggled to save. I mean, I was hardly making anything. I think my first year, you know, and anyways, long story short, I started saving a lot of money and investing, and then I started helping others. And there's something that I see with a lot of my clients when it comes to helping them get ahead. I mean, I've done this with clients, I've done it with friends, family members, and everybody has the same excuse on why they can't save money, and it's that I don't make enough. You know, if I made more money, of course I'd be able to save money. But this is a very interesting part about all of that, is that I've heard that excuse from people making $9 an hour, or like under $20,000 a year. And I've heard that same excuse from people who make over $100,000 a year. Now, how is that possible? How can someone actually, you know, maintain and actually survive making $9 an hour And yet someone who's making $100,000 a year also struggle to save money. And what it is it's a mindset shift, okay? Because saving money and building wealth actually has nothing to do with how much money you make. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird. You're like, well, yeah, I mean, if I make more money, I can save more money. But the actual saving of money is not about your income. It's about a mindset. You see, building wealth, saving money and building wealth is not a mathematical problem. It has nothing to do with the numbers. It has everything to do with behavior. And that's the very first kind of shift that I teach clients, I teach friends, family, and people who listen to me, is that you've got to make a mindset shift first. Okay, and that is, it's no longer that, okay, once I make more money, I can actually save. It's this, and this is the motto that you're going to have to live by, and that you have to ingrain in your mind, is that regardless of how much money that I make, I am going to save X percentage of my income. And how much should that be? Well, I mean, at the bare minimum, you should be saving at least 10%. 10% of your income you should be saving. And that's if you just want to have a shot at retiring one day, okay, and living modestly. If you're actually wanting to have financial freedom, you want to have choices in life, you want to live with niceties, you want to be able to provide nice things for people, you want to be able to retire early, live life on your terms, I mean, you're at the bare minimum have to be saving 15, 20% or more. I mean, honestly, 20, 30, 40% of your income needs to be going to savings, at least at the beginning. Now, so how do you do that? Because the thing now is that people will be like, well, duh, I mean, I know I need to save money. You know, Shaun, that's kind of a given. I know that. If I could save money, I would, but I can't. So how am I supposed to do this? Well, it starts with the way that you kind of go about with your financial process. So most people, they earn money, they get their paycheck, they spend on their expenses, their niceties or whatever, and if they have any money left over, they save it. The problem is that pretty much every single person ends up having more month than money. Okay, they've run out of money before the end of the month. The biggest thing that you're going to have to do when figuring out how to actually save money is that you're going to have to pay yourself first. And this is something that financially savvy people that build wealth, and people that get very successful financially do. You always pay yourself first. So remember that motto is that regardless of how much I make, I'm going to save X number of dollars. So let's say you say 10%. Let's say you make a commitment now. You say, I'm gonna start saving 10% of my income. Let's say you make $2,000 a month. All right, 10% of that is gonna be $200. So what do? You take your $2,000 and then you subtract $200 from that. That goes into a bank account. That goes into a separate bank account that you do not touch. From there, you're gonna then kind of list out your expenses. You're gonna say, okay, I basically have $1,800 to live off of. I make $2,000 a month, and I'm paying myself $200, so I have to figure out how to survive on $1,800. So the next thing I tell people to do is line up your fixed expenses, okay? Your fixed expenses are things that do not change each month. They don't change in the amount that you owe. So for example, like your rent or your mortgage. If your mortgage is $1,000 a month or your rent is $1,000 a month, it's not going to change. It's not like this month it's $1,000 and oh, next month it's $1,200 and then the next month it's $900. No, they're fixed amounts. So start lining up your fixed bills. You know, things like your rent, your cell phone bill, you know, your Netflix, your Hulu, your HBO, your insurance, car insurance, property insurance, life insurance, health insurance, whatever insurance that you have. List all your expenses that do not change, or the exact same every month. List those. See how much you have left. Then you're going to list your variable expenses. These are things that change and fluctuate depending on how much you spend. So a great example is your food. All right, you know, one month you eat out a lot and maybe you spend like $500, $600, $700 a month in food, and then the next month you really dig in and you're only spending $400 a month on food. So then list all your variable expenses. After you do that, see how much your total expenses are between your fixed and your variable expenses, and see how that relates to your overall income. Odds are, is if you've, you know, put out the 10% of savings that we did at the beginning, more than likely, if you've not been able to save money each month, you're going to be probably 10% over, because we took out 10% now. So it's 10% extra charge that you're charging yourself. So now you're probably going to be 10% over budget, meaning that you're going to be losing 10% every month. You're going in the hole. You're going in the red. Okay, you're not getting ahead. You're going backwards. So now we got to work backwards and figure out how we can fit your lifestyle into your actual savings, to where you can save money and you can maintain a lifestyle. Always work on your variable expenses first, your fluctuations. Are you eating out a lot? Can you save money by eating in more? Okay, you know, say, okay, I'm gonna cut my food bill by 20%, and then start calculating. Okay, how do I do that? How much am I eating out? Can I cut that out? Am I, you know, buying a lot of drinks when I go out? You know, can I cut those back? You know, what kind of meals can I make at home that are cheap, that'll help me maximize my money? Some other things you can look at is, okay, how can I save money on rent? You know, do you have an extra bedroom that you can rent out? Can you share a room with somebody? Can you get a roommate? All right, now some of you are probably thinking, look, I'm 30 years old, I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old. I'm too old to have a roommate. Okay? Look, you're gonna have to drop your ego, all right? You have to drop your ego. This is not, I mean, okay, fine. I mean, you can say that, but you're gonna have to make a choice, okay? Are you gonna be too old to have a roommate, or are you too old to not be getting ahead in life? All right? These are decisions that you have to make, all right? And it's not that there's a right or wrong answer. It's just, what do you want out of life? Do you want the ability to start creating financial freedom for yourself, or do you want to get stuck in this rat race that you've been in and create freedom for yourself? So can you save money by getting a roommate? Can you share a room with somebody? Can you move in with your parents? All right, for those of you who live near your parents, move in with your parents for a year or two. It makes a huge difference. Put it this way, if you spend $1,000 a month on rent or mortgage, right? And you say, you know what, screw it, I'm moving in with my parents, and you get rid of that bill, that's $12,000 a year you're going to be saving. $12,000. In 2 years, that's $24,000. In 3 years, that's $36,000. That's in your savings. Guys, within 2 to 3 years, you could actually start making your first investment in a rental property or in the stock market. Okay, you could actually start creating passive income for yourself in as short as 2 years. It doesn't take long, and remember that this is not something you're doing for the rest of your life. This is something you're doing for a few years in the beginning to catch up, to stockpile cash, to start making investments, and start creating a future for yourself. All right? So start looking, you know, what are ways I can save money on my rent, on my food, on my cell phone bill? Are you on a family plan? Do you need that much data? Can you start cutting back on the amount of data that you use? Do you need that much insurance? Okay, some of you probably have a crap life insurance policy, or maybe you have way too much and you don't even really need it, or maybe your health insurance, maybe you're overpaying for your health insurance, you don't need it. You know, you got to look at every single thing you're spending money on and ask yourself, is there a way that I can cut back on this expenditure? Okay, and you cut back by 10%, by 20%, all right, until you're able to match your expenses now with the amount of money that you make, and still being able to save your 10% a month or your 20% a month, however much you decided. So that major mindset shift of, it's not about I need to make more money so I can start saving. You've got to get out of that, guys. That's such a crap mentality. That mentality is going to cause you to never save, because this is what's going to happen. let's say you make $2,000 a month and you're in that mindset of, you know, once I make more money, I'll get ahead. You know, I just got to make more, and then I'll start saving. Well, let's say you get a job, a change of job, and you make more money. Or let's say you get a pay increase. I can promise you that you will not save any more money if you go from making $20,000 a year to $30,000 a year. In your mind, you're thinking, no, man, like, you know, I'm making $20,000 a year right now, and I can't save. But if I make 30, I could save $10,000 a year, man. Like, I just need to make $30,000 a year. I can start saving $10,000 a year. I can tell you that's not going to happen, okay? Because if you can't save money now, you're not going to save more money when you make more, all right? You're going to end up spending it. Your mind is going to convince you. It's like, hey, man, you're making a little more money now. You got to get rid of this deadbeat car. Like, it's on its last leg anyway, so let's upgrade your car while you can. Or, dude, like, you know, we got to start eating a little better. We've been eating ramen noodles every day for, like, the last, like, 2 years. Like, you know, you're making $10,000 more a year. You know, you can spend a couple more dollars a day on your food. Guys, our minds will convince us to keep living at the maximum lifestyle that we can live. So we have to do extra measures to keep that from happening. So you've got to get rid of this whole, I'll save money once I make more. I don't make enough money to save. All these mentalities, all these philosophies are crap, and it's keeping you from getting ahead. Your new philosophy that you have to adopt is this: regardless of how much money I make now, I am going to start saving 10%, 15%, 20%, 30% of my income. Once you make that shift, you need to start, you know, looking at your, sorry guys, I'm driving right now. You have to make that shift. And you have to start laying out all your expenses. You need to start cutting your bills. All right, move in with your family, get a roommate, share a room, sleep on a couch, cut your food bill in half, cut it by 10%, 20%, you know, eat more rice and beans or something, you know, whatever you need to do. And for those who make less money, for those of you who only do make like $9 an hour, you are going to have to get really extreme, because yeah, I mean, like $9 an hour is nothing. $7 an hour is nothing. Okay, so you're going to have to get extra extreme compared to someone who maybe makes $100,000 a year. And the goal is to make more money, all right? So, you know, it's not that we're not going to try to figure out how to make more money. That's going to be for another video. You know, I want to start making some videos on, you know, how do you make more money? How do you start expanding? But this is the first step, regardless of, you know, stop thinking about investments. You know, I mean, if you don't have your finances right first, if you can't even manage and take control over your current situation, you have no business investing. You have no business thinking, oh man, like, you know, I could get ahead if I could just, you know, get that rental property, or if I could just, you know, get that investment, or if I could, you know, just get a hold of like $10,000, I'll be good. You know what I mean? You gotta get rid of those ideas. If you can't perfect and you can't take control of your current situation, you're not gonna be able to do it while you expand, okay? Because it's a behavioral thing. It's not a mathematical problem, all right? It looks like it on the surface, because it's like, oh, okay, well, if I make $2,000 a month and I only spend $1,800, I can save $200. Yes, on paper, it looks like a mathematical problem, but building wealth and building a financial future is a behavioral thing. It's a mindset thing. And that's why most people struggle, is because you have to get rid of behavioral issues, behavioral problems first, before you can actually get ahead. So, the new mindset. The new mindset is this: regardless of how much I make, I'm going to save X number of dollars. It's no longer, you know, I got to make more money, I got to get an investment first. Forget all that stuff. Our new mindset is, regardless of how much I make, I'm going to save X number of dollars first. Start calculating that out, figure out your expenses and whatnot. And I promise you, this is going to be a huge shift. This is what really helped me, because I'm telling you, my first year I made like $18,000 in Los Angeles, which is absolutely nothing. Okay, this is one of the most expensive cities in the country, but I was able to save almost $9,000 off of that. Man, I lived like a savage. I learned how to eat off $5 a day on food. I was sleeping on a couch for almost a year. I literally never went out. I literally lived like a savage, man. But I had a vision, and I knew what I wanted, and I was not going to take no for an answer on being able to build a financial future. Anyways, I hope this video helps you. If you have questions, comments, please leave them below. I would love to help you out, and I hope to bring you more videos in the future. Until then, keep crushing it. I'm excited to see your progress, and I can't wait to hear from you again soon.